Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late December 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgos. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic as we move into the holiday season. Hope you're all getting ready. But let's see what's up, my gods. Talk to me. What do we got for the Virgos here in late December? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And then at the very end, I have a very special treat for all the earth signs this week. I have my lifelong friend who is an expert in astrology coming in to do a quick little astrological segment for all of you. So I hope you enjoy that. Should be fun and interesting. See what's in the stars for you. But yeah, let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo with this very first card. My guides, talk to me. What's happening with my friends? You're getting ready for Kyle Claus to come to town, right? Let's get it going. There we go. Thank you. Ooh, Queen of Swords energy, huh? This is a little stern. Okay, you might be stepping into this mode here, Virgo, like very strategic. It's a dominant type of energy as well. Air sign energy in a very big way. So if you're connected to an air sign, they're showing up here. But we'll talk about that. There's a lot of sternness in that card before we fully do. If you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this Queen of Swords. So as I already mentioned, yeah, this could just be an air sign in your life, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Very strong, powerful, divine feminine energy, generally an elder feminine figure when we see this Queen of Swords. And what's something we think of with her, and I always say it, she is stern, she is strict, she is no nonsense, straight to the point. You want honesty, you're going to come to this character. So for some of you, maybe you're stepping into that sort of energy in this time, like about your business, not playing any sorts of games. Maybe that's an energy you need to step into, right? It's not gender specific. Queen of Swords could be very good sometimes, but at the same time, the Queen of Swords energy could be a little bit cold. Okay, she could be like cutting herself off from emotions or cutting certain things or people out. So this is something we'll want to pay attention to as we move through the reading, specifically if we get a lot of sword energy. Once again, it's not a bad card by any means. There could be a lot of good positives with this stern Queen of Swords energy. Could just be serious things you're going through as well. But we're just going to put her down right there. Let her relax. If she's upset, she could calm down over there. Let's get into tarot. And yes, I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you these three cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the juicy, intuitive stuff. So talk to me, my guides. What do we got for the Virgos here? And while we get this deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading. I will say this, in recent weeks, specifically like the last 3 or 4, it seems like the big energies coming through for Virgo were focused on other people and their motives. Now, last week's reading was titled, They're Watching You, and a big thing I was picking up was being under somebody's microscope, right? So whether you were under someone's microscope, maybe you've been peeping somebody out, right? Checking up, checking in. Could go either way, but it was showing up heavily in last week's reading, so let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your energy. We could be seeing somebody else you're connected to. Let's get it going. What do we got for Virgo, please? First 3 cards out here. Let's build this story for my friends. Guides, talk to me. Yeah, the deck is acting a little jumpy here. A little specific as well. Thank you. Okay. Now the Queen of Swords makes a little more sense now. We're starting with a tower, okay? And I've been seeing this pesky little tower show up for other signs recently. So I haven't seen a tower for you in a while, so that is something we're going to want to keep an eye on, okay? Obviously, not every tower is a bad tower. Some towers could be good. All right, we got the 4 of Cups, a lot of thought process happening here. Someone in the thoughts and minds could be on somebody else's mind when this card shows up, for sure. Let's get one more card out here and really start to build this story out for you, my friends. Okay. I mean, for some of you, this could be like a realization or a thought coming in, like an aha moment. That could absolutely be in the mix. Okay, we have the 6 of Swords. I'm picking up an energy of problem solving here as well, now that we have this 6 of Swords right here on the back end. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. Very interesting dynamic of energy we have happening this week, Virgo. So when I look down here at the box, first thing I notice, obviously this tower starting us off here with a kaboom. Then we have a card that is very peaceful right next to it. So these are complete opposite energies. Then we also have a card of improvement. So it seems like it could be a lot of different things. Now swords, that's air, that represents communication, but also the thought process. And even though the Four of Cups is of the water element, you see that person, they're thinking, they're daydreaming. So there's a lot happening in the mind here. But let's go through one by one and really start to build this out. Position number one, we have the Tower, okay? So once again, not every tower has to be a bad tower. Whenever this card shows up, it does represent the energy of shock. This is a shock of some sort. It's a surprise, the foundation shaking in one way or another. So of course, this could represent big changes in your life. This is a karmic card as well in some situations. When we attach it to the zodiac sign, this is represented by Scorpio. So there's a lot of powerful transformation and change attached to the tower as well. But once again, it's unexpected, it's surprising, and even shocking whenever this card comes up. So we're thinking kaboom in one way or another, okay? It's like boom, explosive in one way. So we'll see how that plays out, because it could be very good or a challenge. It all really depends. But there's a lot of change linked in with this tower as well, okay? So for a lot of you, there could be a lot of big changes happening in your life. Okay, whether internal or external. And for a lot of you, I do feel like it could be a mixed bag, right? Like you could have changes going on internally and externally. But as we move through, we have the Four of Cups right next to it. Now, could this be somebody processing a tower moment? Absolutely. I could see that as this energy flows through. Maybe somebody's been through one. Maybe this is a past tower, past change, past shock. And this is somebody trying to process that. When I see the Four of Cups, I do say you might be on someone's mind in a very big way. You might have somebody on your mind. But notice this person's not doing a lot of moving. They're looking at these cups. They're not seeing the offers and opportunities that the universe is putting forth towards them. So that's the little warning with this card. Like, yes, take some time, relax, process things, but don't wait too long. That's like a big thing with this card. Like, don't be in inaction for too long when this card is here, because it's a very still type of energy. In my simplistic style, when we see the Four of Cups, it could just tell us where someone's mind is at as well. So when we get a clarifier for this, it might just be someone's mind state, where their head's at, okay? Where your head's at, where someone else's head's at, all really depends. But moving towards the back end of the spread, oh no, I just knocked it off of its bearings. Let's fix it while we talk about that Six of Swords. We have the Six of Swords on the back end, a big card of improvement, and I love the Six of Swords. So whereas this Four of Cups is stopped, it's not moving, this one is moving in action in one way or another. Generally, this card does represent moving at a time of rough, patchy waters, like big waves, into the cool, calm, collected waters. So I think of improvements, I think of wins of various different kinds, things getting better. So that's why I said we have this tower, then this processing, then improvement. So for a lot of you, this could be very good. Like things could start improving and picking up. One thing I will say about the Six of Swords, since all cards have positive and challenge, a challenge of the Six of Swords could sometimes represent somebody that is not doing what they're supposed to or abandoning something. So there might be somebody you're connected to where they're feeling some sort of abandonment, or you might feel like they're not doing what they're supposed to be, or they're not living up to their responsibilities. Obviously, that's not for everybody here. But generally, to me, that is a big card of things getting better and improving. So let's get these cards all lined up here. And we have a lot more detail to pull, my friends. I want to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here from my lovely Virgos, please. Guides and spirit team, what's happening for my friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that tower here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, tower time. What is happening for my friends? Thank you. Yeah, and this does feel unavoidable to an extent. Notice we do have another 4, so we have repeating 4s in the mix. Watch out for the big signs, synchronicities, and omens. Listen to the signs from your spirit and watch for the omens showing up. 4 of Swords in reverse to me, yeah, this could be a big shock of some kind, whether you're dealing with a shocking situation or a big surprise. I don't quite yet know if this is going to turn out very well or if this is going to be a challenge, because we're going to need to look through it a little more. But when I see the 4 of Swords in reverse, I do think of action. In the upright, this is rest. This is recuperation. It's somebody calming something down. In reverse, this is full action, full go. So this is Spirit really reiterating the shocking Tower energy. So whether it is big surprises popping up, whether it's shocking situations or shocking things that you're dealing with, once again, this Tower could be something from the past, right? Or this could be a very powerful change or a shocking change that you're dealing with, where it's like, okay, life was like this, boom, Tower comes in, now it's like this. So a lot of you could be dealing with that as well in regards to the change. So I don't feel like we need to overcomplicate this. This 4 is just reiterating it, but at the same time, it is once again saying, hey, watch for the signs and synchronicities, especially with the double 4s showing up here. So let's keep moving. We're not going to get stuck up here. I feel like that's a very simple, straightforward type of energy for us. So let's see why that 4 of Cups is in the mix. Then we'll really get over to that 6 of Swords. I want to see what that has to say, because I feel like that's going to tie everything together for us. So let's see why that 4 of Cups is here. Thank you. Oh yeah, someone's taken many, many walks down memory lane here. Whether that's you or somebody else, we have the 6 of Cups in the upright. This is a card of memories. It's a card of history. It's a card of soul ties and soul bonds. For some of you, especially if you're going through relationship things, this might be an individual where you feel like you know when you're thinking about each other. You ever have that kind of connection with an individual where it's like, you know when they're thinking about you, or you feel like, oh, they're thinking about me, so I'm thinking about them. It's like this back and forth chord of energy. I'm picking that up here heavily right here in the center. Now, the 6 of Cups doesn't just have to be romantic. Remember, yes, it is soul ties, but this is my card of memories, and this is the time of year where a lot of people take extra walks down memory lane. Okay, so whether you're thinking about Christmas past or holidays past, this is a big card representing that. So if that's not you, there is someone you're connected to or linked to that is really in that mode. Now, I'm not picking up a lot of negativity here. I'm just going to be honest with you, my friends. If this was negative thoughts, negative emotions, this 6 of Cups would have been in the reverse. So for a lot of you, this could easily be somebody thinking about you in a very positive way, or vice versa, right? So just know that if you're wondering if you're on somebody's mind, this tells us that you are. Let's keep moving forward. I feel like these are different situations or different messages. So let's see why that 6 of Swords is here. And we'll do a quick recap before we get into your astrological segment. So let's see what's happening with that 6 of Swords for my Virgos, please. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Thank you. 8 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so if you're wondering if something is going to improve and something is going to get better, I do feel like it is. We have this 8 of Swords in reverse, which is very good energy because it's freeing and it's improvement. Generally, this 8 of Swords is very stressed. It's a constricted type of energy. It's a stress type of energy. It's an overthinking type of energy as well. So when I see it in reverse underneath the 6 of Swords, like I said, I feel for a lot of you, there is some sort of big win coming in for you, okay? At the end of the day, whether you're still processing a tower or a change, like I said, a shocking change or a tower, and you're still in process mode, when I see this here on the back end, it's like, okay, this too shall pass, which is a good thing, okay? Of course it is. So especially if you're going through a tough time. Now, if you have issues with anxiety, if you have issues with your nerves or overthinking, when this card shows up in reverse, that is a very calming type of energy underneath this card. So for a lot of you, yeah, maybe you need to meditate or ground yourself down in some sort of way. Remember, swords are all about the mind state. Half of this is swords. It's like we have 3 swords, we have 2 cups. These are the internal energies of the tarot deck. Okay, like the pentacles and the wands, that's outer world, that's outer expression. This is all internal. So for a lot of Virgos, there could be a lot going on within you in this time. So taking time to process it and deal with it in a healthy way is a really big thing. Let's go through and do a quick little recap because I feel like we have different pieces of various different situations going on here. And yeah, we'll go through this, then we'll get into your astrological segment. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we got the big bad tower chilling right there with the 4 of Swords in reverse. So like I said, this does feel a little unavoidable, whether it's one that's past or one that's about to come up. It is a possible shock of some sort, a big surprise, or even a shocking change that you've gone through or underwent. And as we move forward through the reading, there is somebody still processing this with the 4 of Cups and the 6 of Cups in the upright. I also did get the vibe of like 2 people knowing when they think about each other type of energy, like a chord exchange of energy showed up here in a very heavy way. But there is this person taking walks down memory lane, and if you're thinking like, hey, does this person think about me? Do I cross their mind? This kind of reinforces that. Moving further, we have the 6 of Swords with the 8 of Swords in reverse. And yes, this to me does feel like overcoming, like a win of some kind, especially if you have issues with nerves and anxiety. So if you're still processing something, this is Spirit saying, yes, this too shall pass, or things will improve and get better. And it's right there, and it feels very good to me, especially internal things. I feel for a lot of Virgos, you might be going through a lot internally in this time. So yeah, please take a screenshot. Very interesting reading this week. And remember, at the very end, we'll talk about the subscriber surprise. But for now, I'm going to kick it over to my good friend Stacy for your astrological segment.
Hey Virgo rising, my name is Stacy and I've been studying astrology for 28 years. And I'm here to bring you some insights into some of the heavier energy that is at play in the cosmos. And that is Neptune, which just went direct last week, and Mercury, which is going retrograde as of this week. Neptune going direct is going to be a strong influence because it's going to be at the same degree point until December 25th. And Mercury retrograde is going to happen until January 1st. So, and they're 2 polar opposite energies. You know, Mercury has to do with the mind and communication, and Neptune is more about your visions. And, you know, I feel like with those 2 polar opposite energies, it was important to discuss how they're going to affect some of the signs. So for you guys, Neptune direct is happening in your 7th house of relationships, which could be romantic or business relationships. And Mercury retrograde is happening, it's starting in your 5th house and it's going back into your 4th house. So with Neptune going direct in your 7th house, Neptune is a very deep, complex kind of energy. It has to do with your visions, your the spiritual side of things. It has to do with maybe some releasing that had to happen, and illusions that you may have had. And this happening in your 7th house of relationships. And this has been going on since the end of June. There may have been some confusion or lack of clarity in regards to your committed relationships or business relationships because of the other influence with Mercury. I feel like this is going to be more regarding love relationships. So there may be some fog clearing over the next couple of weeks in regards to maybe some visions that you may have had with your partner. Maybe there was a lot of confusion between you and your partner that needs to get cleared up. Or there may have been some ideals that you need to let go of regarding the relationship or regarding your partner themselves. And it's with Saturn in the same house as well. It makes me feel like there's more of a karmic release happening. So it's going to take some time, obviously, to kind of get through the fog of it all. And with the new moon that happened this week in Sag at 20 degrees, it was pretty closely squaring Neptune. So there may have been some challenging things that came to your awareness in regards to home and family and your committed relationship that you're going to have to deal with over the next 2 weeks until the full moon. With Mercury retrograding, it's starting in your 5th house and going back into your 4th house. So the typical Mercury retrograde of replanning, rethinking, reconsidering, revisioning, all of the is going to be happening in your 5th house of romance, children, even, you know, what you find fun, and going back to your 4th house of home, family, and even your inner foundation. 4th house is, you know, like your own emotional foundation. So I think there's going to be a process of rethinking how you're going about either romantic endeavors or maybe some hobbies or things having to do with your children, especially going back into the 4th house of home and family. There may be some things that need to be addressed happening in the home front that you need to rethink or, you know, revise how you're going about things. And Mercury is in detriment in Sagittarius, so it may be a little more challenging to figure out a better way to go about things. Just be mindful of this. It is going to be a 3-week process of looking back at things. But once we get to the end of the month, there will be some better influences at play to bring easier times ahead. So I hope this helps, and happy holidays.
If you got your name in for the November subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's fire and air readings. But for December, I'll be giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls. It's one of my favorite new decks out there, and it's really enjoyable to work with. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what do you think tarot is best used for? Is it for looking at love situations, the past, the future, energy checks? Whatever it is, you drop your answer down in the comments below. And as always, the winners will be announced at random at the end of December. My friends, as always, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.